This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, show 181. We were hoping to have Jason available, but for some reason he's not available, unfortunately. And I'm lucky to have Nick here, my little superstar.
Hey.
And I got him a mic, so everyone can stop picking on me. So don't forget, we've got athwebhosting.com.au to look after us. Affordable and competitive plans, 99.95% uptime, domain registration, free setup, auto setup, instant activation, and using the cPanel. And he does give good customer service as well. And that's from $5.95 per month when paid annually. And getting really quick these days too. So our first story this week. FBI WikiLeaks. So US investigators looking for those responsible for the recent WikiLeaks release of CIA secret files are suspecting a small number of CIA contractors to be behind the leak, local media said. The investigators have narrowed their search down to a team of software developer contractors in Virginia, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing a source familiar with the investigation. The contractors worked on developing tools used by the CIA to hack phones, computers and televisions connected to the internet. Several of the CIA engineering development group contractors have already been questioned, but no one has been detained so far, according to the source, who added that the investigation was unfolding rapidly. So, in interpreting the leaked documents, WikiLeaks said that the CIA used the US consulate in Frankfurt as a covert base for its hackers, covering Europe, the Middle East and Africa. The hackers, operating out of the consulate, were receiving diplomatic passports and cover from the US State Department, according to leaked documents. Now, and this report was from a Moscow publication, so read in it what you wish. But apparently, yeah, this is what everyone was. You give someone a back door, the government can't protect it. They were just apparently somewhere it got not transferred between sites using a secure system. Someone didn't follow the exact letter of the law, and the tools have already leaked out to everybody apparently. So, FBI WikiLeaks Part 2, how it directly affects us. Apple and Google have both made statements saying that many of the disclosed vulnerabilities have been patched and they are continuing to work rapidly to address others identified. So, cruising along, expect to see some more. Some of them you may not even see as patches in Apple, I believe, because the security patches do get pushed to us. But yeah, expect to see a few more patches come through for the operating system. So, good news for us. It's officially, we finally have an Apple News channel. There's 2 reviews up there at the moment, which you may have already seen if you've been following Aussie Mac Zone page. But we've got more later on the how-tos. But it's good to see. Nice quality, easy to set up. So here's a good one. New Zealand is offering free holidays to people who agree to a job interview. New Zealand will give you a free holiday. All you have to do is agree to a job interview in Wellington. Known as the South Pacific's tech and innovation capital, the city, through a campaign called Look, See, Wellington, is inviting 100 people in to interview for 100 tech jobs with an all-expenses-paid trip to boot. The visit will involve 4 days of pre-arranged job interviews, meetups and exploration, with all flights and accommodation paid for, according to the company. Airport transport connections are also covered, and candidates will only need to pay for their food, drink and entertainment. The campaign is a partnership between the Wellington Regional Development Agency and Work Here New Zealand, a private sector business specialising in global recruitment marketing. Keen to apply? These are the next step. So potential candidates must register their interest before March 20. Employers from leading tech companies will then review candidates' profile and will nominate the best. The more nominations you get, the more likely you are to win. The trip will take place from May 8 to 11, and the companies will make offers to the best candidates after meeting with the candidates in Wellington. So we will have a registration link or the story link. So good luck to anyone that wants to go over there. Why not? New Zealand's not that bad a place, and it is only a couple of hours flight. Shame they talk funny. So Apple's iPhone destroying robots are operating in California and Europe. Last spring, Apple introduced a new robot at its spring event, Liam, whose job it is to take apart iPhones so more of the valuable materials inside could be recovered and reused. Liam production line systems are currently operating in California and the Netherlands. Apple said in a report published on February 21. One Liam system can disassemble 1.2 million iPhone 6 units in a year, according to the report. The maximum 2.4 million phones the systems the maximum 2.4 million phones the two systems can take apart per year are a fraction of the 211 million phones Apple sold in 2016. That's only basing that there's only two systems, whereas there may be more than two systems, even though they're in two places. But good on them. And there's a lot of stuff in a phone that can be reused. Last spring, Apple said that its robot could take apart one iPhone 6 every 11 seconds. And I can promise you I can't do that. Apple also revealed how much more materials Liam can save over shredding, which is how electronics are commonly destroyed. For every 10,000 phones that Liam disassembles, we have the potential to recover 190 kilograms of aluminium, 80 kilograms of copper, 0.3 kilograms of gold, 0.4 kilograms of platinum, 0.7 kilo of silver, 5.5 of tin, and more importantly, 2.5 kilo of rare earth elements, Apple wrote. The report was part of information that Apple provides on an annual basis because of green bonds worth $1.5 billion that Apple issued in 2016. Green bonds are intended to make it easier for investors to identify environmentally friendly projects. Apple's debt follows a set of voluntary guidelines called the Green Bond Principles. So we've got a really awesome shot of the Liam taking apart phones. That's on a link, and we all have a story link which will be in the show notes. So this week's discussion, which was going to be with more than one person, just me, but should we be worried about the government being able to tap our phones, or does it only apply to the baddies? Do we need to speak out as the law slowly changes? These are things that we need to think about, because there's people been fighting for free speech for a long, long time, and not only free speech but also having rights as a person that's being accused of something or is being suspected of something. And how can we speak out? Well, you can write letters, you can contact your radio stations, you can contact all of your politicians, be they local government, New South Wales government, federal government, and both sides of them. Remember, if there's more than one person representing Penrith, for example, there's at least two for every grade of government, at least two. Is each election cycle too late? Because a lot of important things get put aside when people are focusing on 3 or 4 things over an election period that's getting more airtime on TV. So, and in Australia, will we ever know, like the US, what's happening in Australia? There's a lot more because this place is so much bigger, there's a lot more investigative journalists, for example, or maybe a lot more people willing to talk, for example. And why does it really matter? As I said, there's been a lot of people even giving up their life for free speech or the rights of suspects. It's going back from the beginning of Australia. The beginning of white occupation of Australia. So just keep in mind that. So now, don't forget, we've got Aussie Tech Radio, and we've got the Aussie Tech Security Podcast, and we've got the Aussie Tech Heads podcast with the boys there. So that's pretty cool. And as I said, I do enjoy the Aussie Tech Radio podcast. And just leave it on and let it play in the background, and you get to listen to all of our podcasts, as well as some many more from Australia and New Zealand. So if you're applying for one of those grants to go over there, you can get used to their language. So the Apple News channel that we have for Aussie Mac Zone readers now. So if you open the news app on your iPhone or iPad, and then click on the search icon and search for Aussie Mac Zone, it will appear under Top Hit, and right next to that is a little heart button. You just click on that, click Done, and the Aussie Mac Zone channel will now appear in your favourites section at the bottom. So you just click on favourites, pardon me, and there it is. Awesome. Took a while, even just to get the first two, the reason they're reviews, that took over a week just to have them approved. So they're obviously doing the right thing and looking after the readers, so it doesn't get fake news. What's that? Fake news, or just crap. We don't want just crap there either, do we? So night shift mode for Macs, we believe is coming soon in 10.12.4. So night shift mode, like on your iDevice, changes the colour of the display depending on the daylight outside. Night shift can be toggled on and off using the new night shift switch located in the Today section of Notification Center. So that's the little stripy lines on the top right hand side of your menu bar right at the top. If you click on that, it gives you a little bits of information that you've added there. For example, the weather, or you can have Do Not Disturb there, but there'll also be an on-off for night shift there. Or you can open System Preferences and select Display, and now click the Night Shift tab and make adjustments because you may like different things. Or if you want to use it straight away, there's been an app around for a while now called Flux. So it's the Flux app, which is the website, which will have the link. It's called justgetflux.com. That's Flux. Now, reusing your Apple bags. So those beautiful bags we get from Apple with our new Macs in, or our bits of accessories that we bought, or our new phone. So a couple of ideas for reusing your Apple bag is a dirty clothes bag when travelling. So just put all your bag clothes in one bag or two bags, and that way it doesn't make your other clothes smell as bad, and just makes it easy when you get home. You just empty that bag in the washing machine and away you go. Or a shoe bag when travelling as well. That stops your shoes marking up any of your clothing. Again, a toiletries bag when travelling. Just you can get one of the small ones, chuck in your hairbrush and your shaver in our case, and away you go. Simple as that. What about you can just put your headphones and your charger and your cable anytime, and you just carry that around, put on the workbench next to your bench at work. There's all your gear. Pick it up and carry it, put it in your bag and take it home again. It's all in one place, nice and easy. Another one is a gym bag. Again, takes a change of clothes, and there it is already. Nice, easy to carry, easy to hang up, and away you go. If you've got any more ideas of what you can do, we'll add that to the list if people just email Michael at aussiemaczone.com.au. And unfortunately, that's all we've got. So thanks everyone for putting up with us again. Another short and sweet one. Thank you, Nick. Now that you've got your own mic.
No worries.
And away we go. Thank you.